Time now for the Nick Hart Show, our weekly chat with the Gibson Southern Titans head football coach. The Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash is made possible by Matt Michael of AgriGold, Brett's Car Care, Chips Sell My Teas, Cox Family Eye Care PC, Daylight Land Management, Du Bois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Duke Energy, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Gerald and Trudy Bledsoe, Hob Range Hood Company, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hydorn Construction, Hilliard Lions, Matt Monroe, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, Johnson Commercial Mowing, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, Kissel Farms Incorporated, Lewis Plumbing and Heating, Make Your Mark, Mayflower Gardens and Gifts, MyTech Systems, Whole Concrete Construction, Pro Rehab, Progressive Health Rehabilitation and Orthopedic Associates, Roberts Boring, Trenching and Excavating LLC, Sandy's Pizza, Scheller's Carriage Inn, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, South Gibson Grain, 10 Barge Seed, Trapping and Removal of Animal Pest, Titan Youth Football League, United Fidelity Bank, and by Ziliac Enterprises. Now, the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash.
Welcome to the Nick Hart Show. I am Bob Bowser, and joining me is head coach of the Gibson Southern Titans, Nick Hart. And coach, your Titans are now 4-1 overall and 3-0 in the Pocket Athletic Conference after defeating Princeton on Friday night 60-9. So let's take a look at the team and individual stats from the Battle of Gibson County. Starting off here on offense, your Titans amassed 536 yards on the evening compared to Princeton having 170. Passing-wise, the Titans had 251. The Tigers had 96. Rushing, the Titans had 285 yards rushing, while Princeton had 74. Penalty yardage. Princeton had 5 penalties for 30 yards. Your Titans had 6 penalties for 60 yards. So nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to that. Turnovers, Princeton had 1. I believe that was an interception. Mm-hmm. And then 0. The big goose egg for the Titans. And that's always so much better because I know the week before we had the 3 turnovers that were very costly to us in a tight ball game. But this week bounced back with 0.
Yeah, great job taking care of the ball, and just overall execution was great.
And then looking at third down, and I don't even, I do. I've got third down conversion and attempts here. Your Titans were 4 for 7 for 57.1%. That's pretty good. I think you'll take that on a regular basis.
Yep.
And then on fourth down, even you were 2 for 2. So overall, 6 for 9 on third and fourth down. You know, that's pretty good percentage right there.
Yeah, that's great.
So let's move into some individual stats here from Friday night against the Princeton Tigers on homecoming. Looking at the rushing stats, Owen Bryant had 6 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. Mitchell Spindler had 7 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ben Butler, 3 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown. Ben Luttrell had 8 carries for 43 yards. Nathan Bowes was 4 carries for 5 yards. And Brady Allen just had the 1 carry, which was a sack. We won't even mention how many yards that was. So we're not going to hold that against him. But going back to some passing statistics here for Brady Allen, because this is where the young man shines.
Yes.
I mean, I wish I was 6'5", but I'm not. So he was 7 for 11, 251 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interception. For a half of work, that's outstanding.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad? I can go with that assessment. What are we going to give him, a C-?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Brady, sorry. I don't want to hear any tears. Just sign the midterm report and send it back. But either way here, let's get into the receiving because he did spread the ball around here. Seth DeLong, 4 receptions, 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the most impressive thing when he got the ball to Seth on that first touchdown, it's like I mentioned it Friday night, and I'm going to mention it again. It's like he hit that switch on Fast and the Furious. You know, they hit that switch, and all of a sudden that car just takes off and goes. That's what he did because I thought they were going to have an angle on him, and he was gone.
Yeah, it was a great job, great pitch and catch, and that was a third down conversion. We were in like 3rd and 7, and great to pick up the first down, and then he did the rest after that.
Well, and then Logan Murphin, 1 catch on the night, and oh, what a catch it was. Big-time reception, and then he had clear sailing of the last 40 yards or so, but that was an 80-yard reception for a touchdown. Ben Butler had a couple receptions for 13 yards. So moving the ball around to 3 different guys there, and boy, some big yardage on some big plays. And in all reality, I don't know if you needed to pass the ball one time the other night.
No, but I did think that our execution in both the passing game and the running game was very good, and that goes at when you throw the ball well and you run the ball well, it means your O-line's playing well, and those guys up front are playing some really good football right now.
Well, then going over to the defensive side of things, Carter Green leads the way here. He had 6 solo, 1 assist, and 1 sack. Colton Stefanich had 5 solo, 2 assists, and the lone interception. Logan Fakwer was in the backfield, it seemed, all night long, 4 solo and a tackle for loss. Max Beatles had 3 solo and 2 assists. Sterling Stocker had 3 solo, 2 assists. Drew Foster had 3 solo and an assist. Logan Maurer. I'm going to tell you right now, Logan Maurer is now in my mind. He's in my head after the first 2-point conversion. I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm like, who the heck's number 5? Where'd number 5 come from? Oh, that's Logan Maurer. He got the 2-point conversion, and he looked like he's just been catching them all year long.
Yeah, he's a great young football player.
But so that looks at the defensive stats here as well as the team stats. So, Coach, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll get your overall thoughts from Game 5 concerning the offense, defense, and special teams. But right now, we need to thank the folks that make the Nick Hart Show possible on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by Hilliard Lyons and Matt Monroe, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hobb Range Hood Company, Gerald and Trudy Bledsoe, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Duke Energy, Du Bois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Daylight Land Management, Cox Family Eye Care PC, Chips Sell My Tees, Brett's Car Care, and Matt Michael of Agrigold.
Interested in becoming a highly paid manufacturing professional? Industry is desperately seeking skilled technicians, people who can solve problems by using their minds as well as their hands. Those who communicate, work in a team environment, and solve problems using today's technology. At Wabash Valley College, we're making skilled professionals desiring a career, not just a job. What will you be making? To get started in the Advanced Manufacturing Program, contact WVC today at 618-262-8641 or visit iecc.edu/WVC.
Thank you for listening to 89.1 The Bash and the Nick Hart Show. So, Coach, let's start with your thoughts first off with the offense. A game where you come back, I mean, even up at Southport, the offense was very good. That offensive line was outstanding. Again, no change. The line was wonderful. They did a great job. Brady putting the ball on the numbers and guys catching the football and taking it to the house. That's the plan. Put the ball in the end zone, and they did so a lot in that first half.
Yeah, I thought it was tremendous execution. They did a great job, in running and throwing the ball, and we took care of the football, we protected it, and it was just a great night for the offense.
Well, and even with your second unit coming in there, those guys, I mean, the little Energizer Bunny, Owen Bryant, Ben Luttrell, I mean, those two young guys make the future look bright because they bring different things. Owen Bryant, he's just got that quickness, elusiveness. Luttrell, he runs with that. To me, it seems like he runs with a downhill to the goal line, nose to the grind type of runner, but still can run very well.
Yeah, both those guys are very talented football players, and on both sides of the ball, I was proud of how our younger guys came in and played in the second half. I thought they all did a great job and played at a high level. It's always great to see those guys come in and do well.
Well, and then we go over to the defensive side, which obviously the starting defense, they only gave up 3 points, which was a 47-yard field goal. That kid did a nice job for Princeton. A 47-yard field goal that hit the crossbar and bounded on through, and it just looked pretty. I mean, you've got to get excited on something like that no matter which team hits it, because it was just beautiful. I just can't say enough about it. But your defense only gives up 3 points, and in all honesty, the Princeton offense had troubles getting on track. They finally found Hardiman a little bit there towards the second quarter, but he was even blanketed quite often.
Yeah, and I was really proud of the way our defense responded after their week at Southport, and especially in the secondary. I thought we did a really good job against the pass on Friday night in the first half. And, that was great to see, and great to see the bounce back, because Princeton has thrown it around really, really well this year. I think they're averaging almost, between 225 and 250 a game throwing coming into our game. So, I think that secondary was going to be challenged on Friday night, and they did a great job of answering that challenge.
Well, Coach, while we were coming into this season talking about your defense, we was wondering how are you going to reload? And after the first week, 2 weeks, we saw that this team had a lot of speed, but there might have been some questions still out there about how tough were they. Is it going to be a case where if some team comes out and tries to throw the ball and run outside, that we're going to be able to run them down, or what happens when the team comes right at them between the tackles? And I really think up at Southport they stepped up and showed it all. Not only can they run with elite athletes, but they can also get out there, and when the other team's bigger and can pound it, they're going to come right at you and hit you. And I just love this defense.
Yeah, I do too. And they're certainly going to get tested this week of people coming right at them. But I do love our defense. I think we got some things we can get a lot better at, but we do. Maybe better than any group we've had of playing fast, playing physical, getting to the football. These guys do it as well as any group we've had, and that's fun. They play with a lot of energy on that side of the ball, and love to play football. And as a coach, that's something that you really love to have.
Well, let's go over now to the special team side, because again, perfect on kicking for the extra points. The kickoff team, when you wanted it in the end zone, it was there. And then whenever you tried other things, knowing that there's going to be points in time throughout this year that you may need that little pooch kick somewhere. It just seemed like everything that you did in the special teams area worked.
Yeah. It was a great night. We had one kickoff return where they got a little bit loose on us, but I thought it executed well. Executed a fake. Got close to a couple of punts. Owen had a nice kickoff return in the second half. We did very well. Jake did a great job on the pooches and squibs. I thought our special teams did a great job.
All right, well, Coach, we need to thank some of the supporters of the Nick Hart Show. And when we come back, we'll take a look around the Pocket Athletic Conference to wrap up Week 5 of the 2019 season and get prepared for Week number 6, as you are listening to the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by Pro Rehab, Pole Concrete Construction, MyTech Systems, Mayflower Gardens and Gifts, Make Your Mark, Lewis Plumbing and Heating, Kissel Farms Incorporated, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, Kathy Solman Photography, Julia's School of Dance, Johnson Commercial Mowing, and in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis.
Is your passion sports, healthcare, agriculture, food, people, coffee? Well, just what do all these have in common? Well, how about sales, accounting, economics, management, marketing, customer service, and a whole lot more? With such a wide range of opportunities and interests, there's a career for everyone. Real-world discussions and a relaxed atmosphere of student-instructor interaction is your path to success with the Marketing Business Management degree at Wabash Valley College. For more information, contact WVC today at 618-262-8641 or visit iecc.edu/WVC.
Welcome back to the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash. I am Bob Bowser, and joining me is head coach of the Titans, Nick Hart. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Pocket Athletic Conference last Friday night. So, starting it out here, Forest Park blanking Pike Central 42-0. That Forest Park Ball Club saw in Week 1, and we said that they were improved, and we were going to see them come alive here as the schedule got more to their level.
Yeah, And they're 3-2 now on the season, and they're doing a great job, and they are much improved, and I think have a chance to win a few more ball games the rest of the way out. So that's great for them, and Coach Fuse, he's a great guy and works really hard at it. So it's something you like to see.
Well, and then of course your Titans defeated Princeton on homecoming 60-9. Heritage Hills defeated North Posey 49-0, and all the reports I'm getting from those that were at that ball game is the fact that Heritage Hills is the real deal.
They are, and we're going to talk about them a lot, I think, coming up. But,
do we have to?
But no, they are very good, and they're just a well-oiled machine.
All right, and then Southridge, they keep on a rolling, 56-14 over South Spencer. So, wow, that Southridge, got to give kudos to the coach over there.
Yeah.
He's done a marvelous job of going from last year they were in the state championship ball game to this year they're coming in. Oh, my, you lose your quarterback that you put all of your eggs into that basket, and now he's gone. They must have found themselves another quarterback.
Yeah, and then they lost the one, a couple of weeks ago that replaced him, and they just keep rolling. They're such a great program. They got destroyed by graduation last year with a lot of the kids they lost, and lose the quarterback, and to be 5-0 and playing the football they are, it's just a testament to their kids, their staff, their program. It's a program that they've got set up for success every single year.
Well, and then the final score from last Friday night would be Tell City 41, Springs Valley 6. Tell City putting some points on the board.
Yeah, and they're 4-1. I mean, that's awesome. And Coach Clements is in year 2, and kind of early in the year we kind of talked. I thought they were going to take a jump forward this year, and they certainly have.
So let's take a look at the standings now. They're going to have Heritage Hills at the top because they are 3-0 in conference play, 5-0 overall. Southridge in the same boat. They're 3-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall. Your Titans are 3-0, 4-1 overall. Tell City is 2-1 in the conference, 4-1 overall, as you just mentioned. Forest Park, 1-2 in the conference, 3-2 overall. Those are the two schools that I'm going to say right now. Tell City and Forest Park, those two schools, I'm going to have to give them A-pluses for where they're standing here at the midpoint of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then North Posey is 1-3 in the conference, 1-4 overall, which they're going through the gauntlet right now. Mm-hmm. Pike Central is 0-3 in the conference, 0-5 overall, and South Spencer is 0-4 in conference play, 0-5 overall. So looking at this coming up Friday night, week number 6 in IHSAA football, all conference slate here. Forest Park at North Posey. North Posey wants to get back into the winning column. They're at home. They've gone through the gauntlet. Forest Park feeling pretty good about themselves right now, coming off of a huge shutout victory. This is going to be a dandy of a ball game, I think.
Yeah, I think it will be. And when you kind of go through the schedule, North Posey's gone, us, and then Southridge and Heritage Hills. Hopefully they came out of that healthy and got their guys ready to go through the back half of the season. I think that'll be a good football game.
Well, and then South Spencer will be at Pike Central. I think South Spencer, in my personal opinion, South Spencer gets off the schneid this week.
I think so. Both teams looking for a win, I think South Spencer has a good shot there.
And then, of course, there would be Tell City at Southridge. Tell City, again, another ball club feeling really good about itself. They're 4-1 overall, but you're going to Southridge. Southridge playing as well as it is. I've got to give the nod, obviously, to Southridge, but boy, I would love to see Tell City just make that a well of a ball game, something to go home and check out later on the late newscast.
Yeah, two teams that like to run the football and get after you, and that Southridge, man, they're rolling.
So, and then, of course, the only other conference game would be your Titans at the Jungle, taking on Heritage Hills. But, Coach, we're going to take one more break here before we get into that big game. So we'll get the listeners ready for next Friday night as your team will take on Heritage Hills. But first, let's thank some of the underwriters of the Nick Hart Show right here on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by Progressive Health Rehabilitation and Orthopedic Associates, Roberts Boring, Trenching, and Excavating, LLC, Sandy's Pizza, Scheller's Carriage Inn, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, South Gibson Grain, 10 Barge Seed, Trapping and Removal of Animal Pest, Titan Youth Football League, United Fidelity Bank, and by Ziliak Enterprises.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The list of social media platforms continues to grow, and so too does the value of social media to businesses. The new Social Media Management Certificate program at Wabash Valley College prepares you for a career in social media or teaches you how to effectively use social media to grow your own business. From advertising and promotion to public relations and marketing, this certificate program teaches you the ins and outs of successful social media strategy. For more information, visit www.iecc.edu or call 618-262-8641 today.
Welcome back here to the Nick Hart Show, right here on 89.1 The Bash. Or you may be using the free app to access the phone or the show on your cell phone. So, Coach, it's week 6. Your Titans will be traveling to the jungle to take on the Patriots of Heritage Hills, and we will have all the action live on 89.1 The Bash, with pregame at 6:45 p.m. The Patriots will enter this contest with a record of 5-0 overall, 3-0 in conference play. What do you expect to see from Heritage Hills on offense?
Option football. They're in the run the flex bone. They do it out of several formations. They really like their number one set's an overload set where they bring the tackle over. Tight ends on the backside, but they do so many great things out of it, and the flex bone makes you have to play so disciplined, with the option game involved, and then you got misdirection and the Navy toss and everything that comes with that, and they do a great job of mixing all that up. It's hard to take everything away with what they're able to do, but the Sigler kid at quarterback is a heck of a football player. He was last year. He's probably better this year. He's so darn good. And then the Doyle kid, the right guard, I think he's one of the best linemen in this part of the state. He's fantastic. The Wetzel kid at fullback had a couple good games against us last year. He's obviously very good, and the Vol kids had a couple big games. He's one of their slot backs. It's when you play an offense like that, first down becomes so important. I know you used to be a wishbone guy. If you can put them in 2nd and 10, that knocks, nobody wants to be in 2nd and 10. But in that type of offense, being in 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, you're off schedule in what you want to do. So first down becomes, and it's easier said than done. I mean, they're darn good, and it's not easy to win on first down. But that's a big key of the ball game is if you can get them off schedule and out of what they want to do. That's giving yourself the best chance, to have success and be able to get them off the field, because they want to, control the football and control the clock and make it a short game. They got a lot of guys going both ways, and I'm sure that's kind of always been their deal, and I'm sure it will be again on Friday night. Is they want to shorten the game against us and play ball control and keep our offense on the sideline.
Well, and when you talk about the schedule like that, I always wanted to see 4 yards on first down. Woody Hayes used to say 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, I wanted to see 4 yards in a cloud of dust. We didn't have turf. But either way, when it got to third down, I felt really good if we had 3 yards and less to go.
Yeah.
With your offense, with your ball club, the way that you can run and pass, they have no fears of that. You get backed up. I remember at North Posey, it seemed like we had first down and 47, and they just did it. They had no problem. When I saw first down and 20, I'm stroking out, because it's like, how are we going to get 20 yards in 3 plays? Mm-hmm. So that being on schedule thing is very important.
Yeah, it is. And it's, I mean, my dad used to be an option guy, and it's
because that's where I learned it from.
it's so difficult to defend. It really is, and it puts you in a bind defensively, and it's tough because you got to play physical, because it's downhill. It's smash mouth right at you, but you got to be so disciplined too on who's got the dive, who's got the quarterback, who's got the pitch, who's got all those things. It's our scout team's going to have to give us a great look this week, and we're going to have a great week of practice, to hopefully come out and play well on Friday night.
Well, now let's go over to the defensive side, because the name you said on the offensive side was Cole Sigler. That's a name that I keep hearing early and often. Where are we going to find him on the defensive side?
He plays corner, and a lot of those guys that we talked about, Doyle's that, plays on the interior line, and Wetzel's a linebacker, and they're really good football players, and they flip
good
over.
Athletes.
Great athletes, and they flip over. Even the Doyle kid, man, he's big, but against Jasper, he ran down a screen, on the sideline and stuff. It's just, they know how to play football. They're well coached. Coach Wilkerson does a great job, and his staff, and and I think it's kind of one of the cool things about football. I think our programs are similar in a lot of ways of, the success that we've had in the past few years, and how we want our programs run and everything. I think we kind of share a lot of those things. Now, when it comes to like the schematics and stuff, we're a lot different. We like the two platoon. They play guys both ways. They running the ball and playing option football, and we're spreading them out. But I think that's one of the really cool things about football is, you kind of have the same vision, but you get there in such a different way. They do a great job, and defensively, I think they're giving up like 5 points a game. They've been very stout on that side of the ball, and they always are. And they do a good job of mixing up fronts and coverages and everything against us. They always have, and we got to be ready to handle whatever they throw at us on Friday.
All right, so let's go over to the special team side, the third and final phase. How do they stack up in the kicking games, whether it's punting, kickoffs, kickoff return, punt return, and, of course, then the extra points? Please tell me the quarterback, Sigler, is not the punter.
He is. He is.
Awesome.
And he...
see, you see this head?
Yeah.
You know why there's very little hair there? Because that's what happens.
And he's back in their return game and stuff. He's just so dynamic, and so you got to be so good, in your kicking game and mostly in your coverage, because he'll make you pay. He's taking punts and kickoffs and everything back to the house. So, we got to do a good job, in all of our coverage stuff. They've done a good job. Just like you'd expect a well-coached team to do. They're very good on special teams. Their kickoff coverage has been fantastic, and I think they've made every extra point. If they haven't, it's been almost every one. They blocked a punt against Mount Vernon. They do everything well, and that makes you in turn have to play well in all three phases of the game.
Well, and of course, as we talk about here, you have to play all three phases of the game very well. 2 of 3 get you beat.
Yep.
3 of 3, and you're going to compete with almost anybody, and we've seen that. You've taken on a big school and was right there to the wire, so that tells you all 3 phases of your program are right there. For Heritage Hills, same thing.
Yep.
They've played Jasper. They've had these big ball games already this year, as well as some conference games. But, the thing is, you don't get to 5-0 if one portion of your game is not there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And they've got all 3 phases, playing really well. And, it's going to be a tough test on Friday night. I think it'll be a great atmosphere and, a lot of fun. I like playing those guys because, like I said, they do it the right way. They're well coached. It's always going to be a challenge, and And it's something I really enjoy is getting to go against them every single year. Not because of just because they do things the right way and they're well coached and their kids play hard and they play good football. And you always really know where you're at. Whenever you come out of this game,
it's a way to judge your ball club.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Well, we're out of time here, but anything else you've got from this week?
No, just hope to see a lot of Titan fans over there on Friday night. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere and a great football game. All
right, Coach. Well, good luck on Friday night. We'll see you after the game on the post-game show, and best of luck to the players. We would like to thank all of you for joining us here on 89.1 The Bash for the Nick Hart Show, and be sure to catch us each week at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night for your look inside Gibson Southern Titans football. Before we sign off, though, we would like to thank all of the supporters of the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show has been brought to you by Ziliak Enterprises, United Fidelity Bank, Titan Youth Football League, Trapping and Removal of Animal Pest, Tin Barge Seed, South Gibson Grain, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Scheller's Carriage Inn, Sandy's Pizza, Roberts Boring, Trenching and Excavating LLC, Progressive Health Rehabilitation and Orthopedic Associates, by Pro Rehab, Pole Concrete Construction, MyTech Systems, Mayflower Gardens and Gifts, Make Your Mark, Lewis Plumbing and Heating, Kissel Farms Incorporated, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, Kathy Solman Photography, Julia's School of Dance, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, Hilliard Lyons, Matt Monroe, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Summerfest, Hobb Range Hood Company, Gerald and Trudy Bledsoe, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Duke Energy, Du Bois County Garage Doors Incorporated, Daylight Land Management, Cox Family Eye Care PC, Chips Sell My Teas, Brett's Car Care, and Matt Michael of AgriGold. The Nick Hart Show is a special production of 89.1 The Bash and the Wabash Valley College Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department.